So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Classic video. Now this video is going to be a compilation of trophies that I have gotten recently here in the Hunter Classic, and we are starting off with this incredibly tiny, non-typical whitetail here on Red Feather Falls. And it was really funny because I have been looking and trying really hard to find a decent sized non-typical whitetail, and I was really hoping, if I keep going out on Red Feather and keep hunting, that hopefully eventually I'd find a decent sized non-tip, and this is what I ended up coming across. He is very, very small. I mean, just look at that estimate. He still looks really, really cool. But I thought it was funny because I was actually talking to some friends at the time, and I said, okay, maybe this is the hunt where I actually finally get my non-tip, and then I end up finding this. I only have one other decent-ish size non-tip whitetail, but nothing really big at all, and I really would like a decently big one. So I just thought it was very, very funny that this was the buck I ended up finding. 67.7560 score, and when they can get, I believe, up to 375 for non-typicals, that'll give you an idea of how small this buck is. But we are going to take a trophy shot of him because he is very cool nonetheless, and I was super happy that I did end up finding him. Now, sticking of the theme of whitetail on Red Feather Falls, and we have this incredible looking buck. 175 to 215, but he's a 7x7. I had never seen a 7x7 that had an estimate like this or a frame like this. He looked absolutely monstrous. Now, one thing I must say before we continue any further into this video is there are going to be clips that unfortunately don't have any audio. I've been having some recording struggles with Classic recently, and unfortunately some of the audio got messed up or didn't record, so I do apologise for that. But I still wanted to share this because what an amazing buck. So we're just going to take a shot at him here while he is stood broadside. I was pretty happy that that shot should bring him down fairly quickly, and you can see him running off there. Just an incredibly huge looking buck. And again, just looking at him on the ground and just again looking at him and checking that he was a 7x7, and then picking him up and seeing 190.1966 for the score. A 190 7x7. What an amazing buck. That is pretty uncommon to get a 7x7 with that kind of score. Normally it would be an 8x8. So we're definitely going to take a trophy shot of him. And I did actually end up taxing him just because he is a little bit unique, being that high scoring with only being a 7x7. Then moving on to a couple of clips from Hameldal. And here at my favourite bear barrel for brown bears, I noticed a different looking bear coming in, and I was pretty confident that I knew what this was. I was pretty confident that this was actually a silvertip brown bear. Now, every time I have come and hunted this bear barrel, I have been hoping to find a silvertip or an albino. So when I saw this and I was pretty confident that it was a silvertip, I was really, really excited. Waited until she gave me a good shot, and as you will have seen, managed to drop her with the bow, picking her up rarity silver tipped, so my first ever rare brown bear. Now it is just a female, so quite a low score at 19.4032, but honestly I'm really not concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is the fact that this is my first ever rare for brown bears, and that is really, really cool. Like I said, I have hunted this barrel a lot. I love this bear barrel. It gets reindeer, lynx, basically, it gets everything on the map will come to this spot except for red fox. That's the only animal I've never had at this barrel. So it's a really, really good spot, and that's why I have my bear barrel here, because I can hunt a lot of species just by sitting at this stand with this bear barrel. So really, really happy to actually finally get a rare brown bear from here. I think they are absolutely beautiful looking. I was told that the silver tips can be quite hard to actually notice, so I've been really keeping an eye out for them, and I was super happy when I saw this one. Really, really happy with that trophy. And sticking with the theme of bear barrels on Hemmeldal, same bear barrel, and once again we have another trophy bear. This time, this one I thought was a pretty big looking bear, so once again managed to drop him with the bow. The head on him just looked so big, and of course he had a really good estimate as well, so I was hoping he could be a new PB. Decent weight, and he is a PB for me, just barely. He's a 28.4835, which does just make him my personal best over my last one, so I am really happy with that. It's not a huge improvement, but it's an improvement nonetheless, and that's always good. So we are going to actually take a trophy shot of him. Now, I did end up taxing this one, but I did wait until after the hunt to actually compare him to my previous personal best, because I knew that that was also 28 point something, but like I said, this one did end up scoring slightly higher than my previous personal best, and I ended up making him into one of the new skull mounts, which was really cool. Now, this next clip happened really quickly, and I kind of just had to hit record and really quickly take the shot. That was a silver-tip red fox. This is a new stand I put up on Hemmeldal to actually hunt wood grouse. I found this really good spot for wood grouse, so I put a stand and some decoys up, but I also found out that it was a pretty good area for fox, and I think this was the second or third time I sat at this stand. I saw this silver-tip male come in, and like I said, I had to really quickly hit record and take the shot because they will spook from underneath a tree stand. And I couldn't believe it. I have had one silver-tip red fox in the past, but it was a female, so this is an improvement over that, and he is slightly higher scoring than the female I had as well. The female scored 14 point something, I believe, so him being 18 is actually a bigger silver-tip, so really happy with that. You don't see a whole lot of rare foxes in general, so that is just a cool thing to end up finding, and yeah, I really like this spot, even though I've only sat at it a couple of times. And again, sticking with Hemmeldal, this time I was out here hunting for the Easter mission objectives, and I was looking for a 500 plus reindeer, and I ended up finding this. That is a piebald reindeer cow. And rare reindeer, from what I've been told, are really hard to find. This is my second rare reindeer ever. I have a leucistic cow, and now I have a piebald cow. I was super excited. Now, I thought she was going to continue walking forward there, and I led my shot a little bit more than I should have done. I got body on it, but I knew body with the 300 would bring her down, and she did go down just up this bit of a hill. Now, unfortunately, she wasn't actually expired when I got to her, but one more shot from the 300 brought her down perfectly. And she is just absolutely beautiful. The piebald variant for the reindeer is quite subtle. There isn't a lot of actual pigmentation. There's a lot of white. There's not a lot of sort of brown colour to it. But as you could see, she is a piebald. It does say piebald here on the harvest screen. Obviously not a very high score with her being a female, but that is really not important to me. What's important is that she is an absolutely gorgeous rare, and one that I was absolutely ecstatic to find. I really couldn't believe it when I saw her. To see a second rare reindeer, I honestly couldn't believe it when I saw my first one ever, and to see a second one I was just in complete disbelief. And to have it as a different rare variation to the first one I found, super happy, and really happy with how that trophy shot turned out as well. Now, on the same hunt where I found that piebald reindeer cow, I spotted something fleeing over a hill as I was running around trying to get bull reindeer calls, and I was pretty sure that I knew what it was, and I tracked it down. It's an albino rhodo. Now, an albino roe deer is something I have really wanted to find in the Hunter Classic, so when I saw this disappearing over a hill and I was really sure that that is what I had seen, I was really excited. There was actually a group of 3 roe deer, 2 does and a buck, and I ended up tracking the buck first, and then it was actually the second doe I tracked. I ended up finding this gorgeous albino. So excited to actually see this. The only rare roe deer I'd ever had in the Hunter Classic had all been piebalds, so I was really excited about this. I just really liked the way the albino roe deer look, so I really wanted to find one, and this was just awesome. And like I said, it was on the same hunt as that piebald reindeer cow, so I don't know what my rare luck was on this hunt, but it was insane, and I was just so excited. Brought her down with the 300, as you will have seen, dropped her on the spot, and she is an albino. No trophy score because, of course, no antlers, but we are going to tax her and she is going into my rares lodge. I really don't mind that it's a female. She'll still look really pretty on the wall, and I can put her next to my decent piebald buck, and that should look really nice in my rares lodge. Just a gorgeous looking little animal. I love the roe deer. I have a soft spot for the roe deer, I think, because they are an animal that I see quite regularly where I live. And I just really like roe deer in any game that I end up playing, especially these hunting games like the Hunter Classic. I think they're just so fantastic. So super, super happy to actually bag this trophy, and I was really happy with how this trophy shot turned out as well. Such a gorgeous looking animal. So, so happy with that. And finally, once again, whilst I was actually hunting the April Fool's turkeys, I ended up having something pretty special come into the Golden Tree stand. That is another animal that I have been looking for in the Hunter Classic and really hoping I would end up finding. That is an albino coyote. Now, I've actually had a couple of melanistics, but I never had an albino. And I was concerned here that it was going to end up spooking off before I could get any kind of shot into it. So I decided to take a riskier, longer shot with the bow, knowing that anything hit with an arrow will end up dying. I ended up getting intestines. I left it for a few minutes and then went to go and track it, and it didn't actually go very far before it went down. Just a gorgeous looking animal, like a ghost walking through those trees. I couldn't believe it when I saw this actually walking in. I just actually spooked a couple of coyotes off, and I don't know whether this was one that was part of the same pack that came in really late, but it seemed to be kind of by itself. And as you'll see, it is an albino. Not a very big score at 41.9937, but again, score is not what I'm concerned about with this. It is the fact that it is an albino, and that is going straight to the trophy lodge. And I'm actually going to put it in the same lodge as one of the melanistics, so I can actually have the melanistic and the albino in the same trophy lodge. So, so happy with this. Really unexpected find. I always call the coyotes in, and I've always been doing it in hope that I'd either get a decent sized trophy or a albino. And finally I ended up having an albino come in, so that was super, super awesome. And you can see the arrow there just a bit far back. Like I said, I got the intestines, but like I said, anything hit with an arrow does go down, so I was just happy to get a shot into it before it ended up spooking off, as I know how much of a pain coyotes can be to track. So knowing that it was hit, I knew it would go down, so that was a huge relief. But I am super, super stoked with all of these trophies. I have been really, really fortunate to actually get some really, really nice trophies, and like I said, I'm very, very lucky. And just super happy. I've had some really nice lodge additions. A lot of these are rares, like I said, that I've been looking for, like the silver-tip brown bear, the rare reindeer. Never expect to get them because they just seem so hard to find. The albino roe deer and the albino coyote, they're just so cool. And even the little non-tip whitetail, even though he was so small, I think, you know, they're almost comical when they're that small, and I still find them quite cool looking. You know, even though he's small, that's still a quite cool looking rack. I hope that eventually I'll manage to get a really big non-tip. I absolutely love non-tips in this game, so I will continue searching for some big non-tips. But I've been really fortunate with all of these trophies, so yeah, I'm super, super happy. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so, so much for watching. Again, apologies that there was some audio struggles with this video. I think I've got it fixed now so that there should be, you know, proper audio and stuff for the clips. It was just some stuff while switching some stuff around with OBS. I think some stuff got messed up. But now I think it's all working again, so hopefully for the next clips it'll all be perfectly working again. But yeah, thank you so, so much for watching, and I really, really hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.